Hi, I'm Scott from RedmondPhysicsTutoring.com, and in this week's video I'm going to go through the number one thing that you should be doing to do better on your physics exams. At the time of recording, I have just released a one-page PDF checklist for free that has the top 5 ways to ace your next physics exam. And if you'd like to download this checklist for free, you can check the link in the description box in YouTube. You'll also get free access to a basic training video that walks through each of these 5 steps in much greater detail. Kind of like what we're doing right here for step number 2, which is to get sample exams. Let's dive in. The second thing is to get sample exams or practice exams. And if you can only do one thing, then make sure you do this. I feel really strongly about this, and that's because I had an experience in undergrad where I actually got the results back from a midterm. And you're probably used to the idea of seeing a bell curve where you have grades along the bottom and you have the number of students along the vertical axis. And normally with a bell curve, you get one hump in the middle, like one bell, kind of like this. And hopefully you're in the right-hand side of the curve. What happened in this one case is that the prof came back and said, I don't know what happened. I've never seen anything like this, but our bell curve looked like a camel. And when we realized what had happened, it turns out that these students on the right had a practice exam. The students in the curve on the left did not have the practice exam. Looking at this, which curve do you want to be in? You could be in the curve on the left, or you could be in the curve on the right. Clearly, I would rather be in the curve on the right. And the only difference was the practice exams. Now, there are some good reasons for this. Exam problems are often harder than the homework problems. I've had many cases where students come to me saying, I've done all the homework, but the exam was totally different. This can be because the exam problems combine ideas from multiple chapters in ways that homework problems just don't. And sometimes it's just that the prof increases the difficulty a couple of steps, a couple of notches above what you're used to doing. And you won't know this unless you practice. So the best way to prepare for your exam is to practice for your exam. So what do you need to do? Ask your prof for practice exams. Your prof is going to be the one who creates your exam and grades your exam. So they're going to know what kind of practice exams are going to be the most helpful to you. If your prof doesn't actually have any exams or isn't willing to give you any exams, another great place to check is with your student association. In my undergrad case, it could be that the prof didn't realize that there was a practice exam. I don't remember anymore. But I do remember that the engineering society at the school where I went kept an exam bank. And we had representatives on the engineering society in my class, and they actually would go and create. They would get exams from the bank and then create an exam, a practice exam booklet for us to help practice before midterms and finals. So if you can, definitely get them from your prof. But if that doesn't work, check your student association, and you might be able to find something helpful from the internet, from Google. It's better than nothing to have something from the internet. Ideally, you want it from your prof, or at least from other profs at the same school in previous years that you might get from the student association, but it could also work from the internet. The next thing to do is to try to write each exam on your own as if it's a real exam. Give yourself a fake exam. Don't look at the solutions. Pretend it's real, so don't look at the solutions until you have tried each problem. So really pretend it's a real exam. What I highly suggest is that you get a timer. And maybe it's a 2-hour exam or a 3-hour exam, whatever. Block off that time, write the exam, then check the solutions. If you don't have any solutions, the best thing to do is to compare with your friends. This is another case where Google can be your friend, but if you have 10 exam problems and 5 friends, then it can be a lot faster for each of you to find and research good solutions for 2 problems and then come back together and work together than it can be for each of you to go and research the solution for all 10 problems. Thanks for watching. I'm Scott Redmond, and I help students pass physics. If this video was helpful to you, then you might be interested in the free PDF checklist of the top 5 ways to ace your next physics exam. Put this out there. I hope that it's helpful to people because I really want students to do better with physics, and it would be wonderful if I'm able to help you in any small way. So if you're interested, check the link in the description box on YouTube or visit RedmondPhysicsTutoring.com.